Welcome everybody to today's proclamation signing. My name is Andrea Muir and I'm filling in for our communications director, Crystal Paco San Augustine. We are delighted to have you here today with us today proclaiming February 21st as Mother Tongue Language Day and March as Chamorro Month. Please stand as Mr. Peter John Constantino, Special Projects Coordinator, lead us with the Fanogi Chamorro.
Panogi Chamorro, Bonita Nota, Antana Tunaya, Ito Miruga, Para honra, para gloria, viva esta sentada. Para honra, para gloria, viva esta sentada. Todo e tempo e paz para Hila, Daniel na bendição. Contrai inimigo na França forran, Deus protege Islam. Contrai peligro na França forran, Deus protege Islam.
Thank you, Mr. Peter John Constantino, and thank you very much. At this time, please be seated, everybody. Thank you. I would like to recognize the presence of the Honorable Josh Tenorio, Acting Governor of Guam. The Honorable Frank Bloss, Jr., Acting Lieutenant Governor of Guam. From the 30th Guam Legislature, Senator Jesse Lujan. Notable guests from Comisión y Pino Chamorro Zan y Pinagino y Historia Zan y the Natla y Tautatano. Dr. Laura M. Stouter, Board Chairperson. Former Senator Hope A. Cristobal, Board Vice Chairperson. Rosa S. Palomo, Board Secretary. Teresita C. Flores, Board Member. Jimmy Tira, Board Member and GDOE Administrator of Chamorro Division. Melvin Wampabora, Board Member and President of the Department of Chamorro Affairs. Maria Duenas Concepcion, Executive Director. The Commission staff. And now from Department of Chamorro Affairs, Keisha Q. Powell, Vice Chair. Nina San Nicolas, Trustee. Kathy Flores, Trustee. Dr. Michael Bobaka, Curator of the Guam Museum. And all of the DCA staff. DDOE Chamorro Division teachers, Bila Camacho, reader from Finizai Kansanipuk. Sorry, how do we? Thank you so much. PC Laman Elementary and parents. Anne Marie Arceo, COO and Principal of Magdalena and Hural Academy. Thank you all. And now I would like to give the floor for opening remarks, Dr. Laura M. Souter, Board Chairperson.
Si Diyos masi, dangkulo na minago festina haani sa tasile libra hila nanata no inanan todo tautot sa molo. Pues no ingof agedisi estina honra para haani hila nana lokui para ikuturata, finota, hiningeta, tautauta mismo. Da no utumwa naman gof bula para natendi lo da para nyayhon didi para telefonisa e mais importante gikuturata e finota. Por exemplo, na sidus masi giren todos sam bini sa no para hami gwini gof importante lo intingo lo kwina gof importante para hanso di mange hilo itanota. Pues donc na sidus masi por estina onda.
Thank you, Dr. Souter. Next, we have remarks from the Honorable Joshua Tenoy, Acting Governor of Guam.
Afternoon, Todos Hamzu. Before I go on, I wanted to also recognize Mr. Bob Pelkey, the president of the Young Men's League of Guam. I mentioned that because there are very few, well, not very few, but they are one of the longest running organizations that has in their mission a mission that we have in common with the government and our mandate in the law. So I wanted to welcome you. I also wanted to say it's such a pleasure to be with all of you. I consider majority of the board members of the Commission to be mentors of mine. I have known some of them since I was born, others since I was a teenager, others I grew to know a little later in life, but I always recognize the tremendous value of their work and contributions. These are people that their life work has been in this area. And even though many of them have retired from their professional careers, I find it kind of amusing in some ways that they're giving more of their time than if they were working on hourly wage to this mission. And it's so important because we have a lot of interest, but we have a responsibility as Chamorros to make sure that we find opportunities that our people can learn. And with technology being the way that it is, I really have to recognize how the Commission and DCA and Hural have utilized technology to help advance forward the work and the mission of the language and the culture and the history study. This is, people normally would think that technology is opposite than maybe what our job is, but they realize that you can use technology to reach so many people. And for the younger people, these innovative things like our Chamorro Minecraft, right, which were geared to hook in some of the youngest ones in our group, right, in our people, to help advance the knowledge that they will have. There's been a lot of innovation. I want to recognize all of you. I also want to say that it's so innovative that finally at PC Lujan, we were able to introduce the immersion program. And then this school year, we broke another barrier and have for the first time a charter school that is focused on the immersion of our language. And I have to say that a lot of that work, and Marie, congratulations on that. I know you have been mentored also by some of the ladies and gents that are in the room. And it's such an honor to see this. Many years ago, when I was chairman of Pa'atauto'otono, and I used to, I think 5 times I did grant review for administration for Native Americans, and I would see some of the innovation coming out of Hawaii with their immersion program, and seeing where we came from to what we're doing now. It's such heartwarming, and I really, really think it's such great work, and work that a lot of you are motivated by the spirit that all of us share, right? It's really very heartwarming. So I see my role as providing resources when I can and listening to the ideas and seeing how I can plug in and get the resources there so that we can advance forward our work. On behalf of the governor who's in Washington, I know she's making sure that these changes and these potential disruptions we might be seeing in the federal government, I feel we're very resilient because we're not dependent on money. Money helps us and program money helps us, but already we have embedded in us the tools we need to advance the work for our language. And I just want to say congratulations. Sizus Masi Puri Finactum Nidu Guini, Donkuluna Onra, para Betegui Estina Proclamation, para Hamzu Espishat Menti Todo e Famagun Guini, Sizus Maan Season. Be back tomorrow.
Thank you, Acting Governor. Sorry, my apologies. And now remarks from the Honorable Frank Bloss Jr., Acting Lieutenant Governor of Guam, for his remarks.
Jesus Wasi, thank you very much for all of you being here. You know, it's a great honor to be sitting here. And I tell you, 40 years ago, we couldn't do this. If you can recall, maybe 50 years ago, we couldn't do this. You know, in my family, one of the things that I can be very proud of, okay, first off, there's 3 generations of Frank Blosses in my family, okay? Last year, Frank Bloss, is he my bikikin? Okay, because was si Frank Bloss Jr. Was si Frank Bloss III. Okay? Line Paul, stood up in Hura. What was there is that my father, in those generations, my father grew up with the culture and grew up with the language. He learned English as the second language. My generation, it was frowned upon to speak our language. Right now, my mouth was washed out with soap and I had to eat pepper because I couldn't speak the language. It was basically bad. Was Paul actually Frank Bloss Jr. the third, or Frank Bloss the third? As howly as my little nephew looks, and Emery will tell you, he speaks better tomorrow than me. Okay? But it just within our family history, it shows the history of where we're at. And I want to thank you for that. I'm very proud of not just, my nephew, but his brother as well. Because what he is learning and what he is, and in our curriculum, it's required now to learn some more. Whereas in my generation, you were told not to speak. We've come a long way. And we're going to be going further. Because that's what makes this so profound. That's what gives us the hope and the drive. We are an island, we're a people, okay? And we're proud to be that. And we know so. And we have every right to be. Because I'm very honored and very proud to be here today. God has ways of being able to put us in certain places, and I'm sure He put us together today for a reason. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Acting LT. And now, the reading of the proclamation from Dr. Laura Sauer, Board Chairperson, Hope A. Cristobal, Board Vice Chairperson, Rosa Palomo, Board Secretary, Teresita C. Flores, Board Member, Jimmy Chera, Board Member.
Magproklama gisakan ni Senata 2025 como idiha 21 de fevereiro como haanin hila nona zanimes sa moro de março. Como ginin ifino na man aatungo zan man aapinto sihet zani entero na tono tana aano man hodzihet ta sasangan ni historia zan kuturata ta edza za ta defendi I diretsun tinautaw ta siha zan ta Fanyauno gi kinalamtin linala itinautauta gi itanota. Whereas it is through language that we communicate with the world, define our identity, express our history and culture, learn, defend our human rights, and participate in all aspects of society. Kumu ifinot samoru I lingwahe ni manautautanu lagwas Zangani, ni matungo pago kumu Islas Marianas. Za makumiti siha na para umadahi za unamanalola ifinota sa esti numatsitilong hit zani antes na manyaynata. Itiningunyiha minaloti ilinala zan kustumbri ihinengi zan itinilong irenshanhoga kumu ifinene na natautaw. Zan, whereas the Chamorro language is the language of the indigenous people of Laguas Zangani, known today as the Mariana Islands and the Tautautano, are fully committed to the preservation and revitalization of our language as it connects us to our ancestors, their knowledge, skills, customs, and traditions, beliefs, and our kinship connections as the first people. And
como inespapanta ifinut sa moro, ihila na nota, na sinyaha mafunas gihalong timegagay na henerasyon, iman mamayla zangin tima alulazi, no mahudong, manhobin na kwikwento siha para unina siguro na usinestieni zan kontinuha mo na zan, whereas our mother tongue, the Chamorro language, is threatened by the possibility of extinction in several generations if we do not take urgent measures to produce young speakers to ensure its sustainability and continuity. And kumuginin ifino na maadadahi itaw-taw siha historian komunidad niha, costumbres and traditional niha siha, manmalofan na linala niha siha, itinatsalan ikinalamtin manhasu sustansya zan taymano silang sasangan niha mauusa lopi gihinatsa zan imasiguridad iman mamayla na tiempo niha zan, whereas through language people preserve their community's history, customs, and traditions, memory, unique modes of thinking, meaning, and expression. They also use it to construct their future. And
como iginetin isiklong lengguaje Imanautautano Internacional 2022 hasta 2032. Mahasngon para magefatan iglinabin ilinala ifino Manautautano gi interuitano. Para magoti diretsin Manautautano para ufangwentos gi ifino niha. Mantieni tiningo anciano zani tradisyonal na kostumbri siha. Zan para makatga hujong ikinalamtin manatlalai ifino zan kultura. Para pitsigi I aksyon at reglamento ni adadahi itinilong entry ifumino kultura, salud, zani diretson tano Imanautautano. Para epoki diario na sinauno I diferentes linguajes siha. Para afitma de nuevo inina la lenguaje como nina kababalis isinestiene ni costumbre zan tinanga siha. Zan para hatsa gi ihalom I comunidad gi intero itano gi kinimitin sinata. Nina la zan sinapotin ifino Manautautano. Zan. Whereas the commemoration of the International Decade of Indigenous Languages 2022 to 2032 is intended to emphasize the critical situation of indigenous languages worldwide, to assert the right of indigenous peoples to speak their native tongues, maintain ancient and traditional knowledge, and carry out language and cultural preservation revitalization efforts. to promote policy action that acknowledges the connections between the linguistic, cultural, health, and land rights of indigenous people, to encourage mainstream linguistic diversity, to reaffirm language revitalization as an integral component of sustainability practices and goals, and to build a global community committed to the preservation, revitalization, and support of indigenous languages. And como ifinui et masta kilogi iponitehen idiretsun tautau siya, minaulik zanginibetna, kinahat pas, inafamole, zan inadelantun sinisteni, zan. Whereas language is pivotal in the areas of human rights protection, good governance, peace building, reconciliation, and sustainable development. And como haeepoki Naciones Unidos, I inteiro na tano na umatogi amano todo ini na sinaniha, za umasupoti I hinago, zan zan manafamta, ifino tau tano siha sigun gi I lihet timona diretso ni tau siha, no iman fifino, zan. Whereas the United Nations urges the world community to take measures that will support access and promote indigenous languages and in accordance with the legitimate rights of the people who speak them. And
Kumukiet ifinu tau-tau-tan, siya di kinalamtin sosyal, ekonomiya dan politika siya, pas na inafamuli dan inadanya, di haling komunidad siya, do lamigay mandanamsan, zahihihu man malino, dan whereas indigenous languages matter for social, economic, and political development, peaceful coexistence, and reconciliation in our societies. Yet many of them are in danger of disappearing. And, como por esta razón las Naciones Unidas ha declarado en 2019 isa kanifinutatautano siya. Kung sa kiuepo, sinadik na kinalamtin siya za umaadahi. Solid mo na, da manafamta siya. Dan, whereas, it is for this reason that the United Nations declared 2019 the Year of the Indigenous Languages in order to encourage urgent action to preserve, revitalize, and promote them. And kung ifrasa hila nana at saka fedla mausana, sinahanap lamigay sa kekesangan sigun di sucesyon. Lamigay na biyahe na hakakatga estinahin na susiya. Ifinili na fino. No i-identifika zan hadzigui, ififino o sino, ma-identifika como natibo na fifino no ipumalo na tau-tau siya. Ifino anay goflaksi ififino, zan sesonya hausa. Sina halokwi akekesangan hila nana, como ipumet at finet ni na fino. Zan, whereas the term mother tongue, although widely used, may refer to several different situations. Definitions often include the following elements: the language that one has learned first, the language one identifies with or is identified as a native speaker of by others, the language one knows best, and the language one uses most. Mother tongue may also be referred to as primary or first language. And
Kumuid mas kilo na tiningo nasional Hila nona di November di 1999 a declara i UNESCO na umatumo na idea 21 de fevereiro como international na haaning Hila nona. Then, whereas the very first element of nationality is the mother tongue, in November 1999, UNESCO declared that February 21st would be known as International Mother Language Day. And como imes tamoro, hasosozo todo na tauto ni man aalok izagohan itanuniha na ufan man edzak por isengapo zan maalag na historianya Jani man maga siya ganini ontis na tiempo ni kontoro lalala na kulturan Chamorro na ta celebra i lingwahe ilele ilinalay nenkano dondan historia jani tsetso artista lokwe janintero ejo siya na ahensya nui manyenyetbi put Chamorro paru matbansa ifino jani kulturan Chamorro di Doronton i Motsunames, Zan. Whereas Chamorro Month 2025 encourages the residents of Guahan to learn about our island's rich and vibrant history and to pay homage to the leaders of the past who have inspired generations of the people of Guahan and to celebrate the Chamorro culture through language, chants, dance, storytelling, cuisine, and traditional crafts, and collectively all the Chamorro Central and Chamorro serving entities will advocate the effort to promote our language and culture during the month of March. And como itema para Pago na Mes Chamorro 2025, man etnunihit tanakwahazi. Zan, whereas this year's Chamorro Month theme, we have gathered, so let us provide.
Dan Pagu, Tatkumu Guahu, si Joshua Francis Tenorio, Aktu Magelahing Guahu, Sigun gi autoridad nui mapega gi Guahu, nui Aktun Organikon Guahan, nui Mama Emendi ni Congreso na America, who proclama idea 21 de febrero como haanin Hila Nana, dan mes Chamorro Gimatsu, dan putmas uma recognisa dan honra ikinilamten linatla dan irensyan iman mofonya na manautaw Chamorro. Put banida na itaw-taw-tawno, siya uma celebra dan honra iuniko na kinilamten linatla ilinatlata dan tusuon mo na ifinamta ifinot dan kostumbre siya pari mamala na inarasyon siya. Ginin akadakwat dan dinanya ifinatetsuta siya na taisigura imangov na magov na irensya islata dan itawtaw siya continua fumanta dan lumalab gagi kita hita para continua tumanong isimitan kilamten linatlata kosa kisinya ihinasun ifamagunta manladzut manmahali dan manfamta iramas niya. Now therefore I, Joshua Francis Tenorio, acting Governor of Guam, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Organic Act of Guam as amended, do hereby proclaim February 21st as Mother Tongue Language Day and March as Chamorro Month, and further recognize and honor the Chamorro language as the indigenous language of the first people of our island. It is with pride that we pay tribute to our indigenuity and strive to perpetuate our language and customs for future generations. Through our individual and collective efforts, we ensure the proud legacy of our island and her people continues to thrive in the 21st century and beyond.
Como testigo, winning Wamo si Frank F. Blas Jr. Atun Segundo Magalahing Guahan, Zani Acto Magalahing Guahan, in Filme Estina Nui Kanay Mami, Zayn na mapega, Gita Foy, na Sedzun Guahan gi ikapitat na sawidad hagatnya, Gidiha 21 de febrero, Isakan Isainata Anno Domini 2025. In witness whereof, I, Frank F. Blas Jr., Acting Lieutenant Governor of Guam, hereby together with the Acto Magalahing Guam, cause the Great Seal of Guam to be affixed in the capital city of Fagana on this 21st day of February in the year of our Lord Anno Domini 2025.
Viva Chamorro!
Thank you, readers and acting Gov and acting LT. Before we take photos, I invite Putio Pegalinen, a student from Megalon Hurao Academy, to read Tinamoru Neni, published by the Commission.
Adahi Itanu, Tinigi Dakota, Camacho, Lucia Kobo, San Pietra Tunka. Adahi Itanu, I Aanok San Iti Man Aanok, Adahi Itanu, Mangaigi I Man Get Hila, Hila Itanu, Van Equinok, Van Oski, San Matu, Itinalazi. Sepri Unmali'i Adahi Itanu Mangaigi Iman Dikiki Mangaigi Iman Yana Adahi Itanu Bangagaw nu Isaina Na Utsatsaloni Het Adahi Itanu Esti Ipintonia Isaina Hanoi Het Ipinyata I Aanok San Iti Man Aanok Adahi Itanu Adahi Itanu Adahi Itanu.
Camacho, a student at Dina Zykan Sinapuk at PC Sinipuk, thank you. Sinipuk at PC Lujan Elementary to read Tinanamu, published by the Commission.
Tinanumi, Commission Ifino Tamodu. Isinita, Kwaha Umpalam Tamodu Gita Kwahan, Ina Anya Siti Benumi. Undiha Hada Sidi Pada Ufaisan Sina Nanya, Ginina Monu Ina Anya. Nana, Hafa Nama Fana Anzut Tinanumi. Put for Botna Comprendi that Ginina Monu Ina Anhu. Hu'u ina pias na nonya, and I do my dunkuluzo, megana mommy ginin tinano, dinaku then kinisata, itanota, zamas malik isabot ninkanota tikihina temple kipa. Nihita tatito hongi fundamentum batin tinano, umasalao aparao si tinanumi, oh, Hutumu ipatentinanum siha, holly, kakadu, hagen, flores, fruta, zampipita. Nona, senza huberianas, cosino anfenokwizo manana berianas, pure, sa este graha mendodo ko gigualota, senza huikanya zengilata tuno. Sina hunyinyi kwaku kalabai hasuha. Manopisi nona hungan nihi tafalak igualot zatari kohi tode necessidata. Bahu fanui hao hafete manu matanam zananadoku biringanas sa azumon samunagolai. Jos pada hui fina lagun jinanam biringanas zan ochu siha nagolai. Mentra tuas vipia masa dan hilat lamas na biringanas tuli imaseta da unatiti ota. Plus tuli untuk watan puppet dan potlugi umbanda. Hatifi inaran China numi masa na biringanas sahatatak anakut gitalo. Hafanui si Tina numi hafata manu mababai biringanas. Después halatnos y pepitas kisan halunya. Iletnya senona recogi todo iti netsin na pepitas, mas megai, mas malik. Bulutan los cuantos na pepitas ki unterwatan puppet, suman ki honum hasta meseha 24 horas, sempita liit la megai na lapto pepitas. Potlu kada binalutan pepitas ki halum botan plastic. Sa angay gigimihong nalu ka Debbie di ufokun dan tigef maipi ituatan papetoreja. Ha continuasi nona umisfika fina waku dengan esai pepitas tematik hafa moho paron topi dan hasisi tina lumi unwatu pos ilatnya tachant feri guatiki etaki halana seta lo quantuna semita bayu poligi kara dedun hotu nanopisi nona dos pa tres naho dengan esta o poligi kara hotu Tompi dirige otta isemita sapit honum para ufok ganyaihu.
We'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today for the proclamation ceremony. Biba, Mother Tongue Language Day, and March is tomorrow month. Biba! If you can have everyone